Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Take 5 for Torah. Today is July 15th, and that means that we are learning a chapter of Sefer Shmuel. That means chapter 11 is what we're up to today, and that's where an Ammonite king named Nachash threatens the town of Yavesh Gilad. Now, if you look at a map, Ammon is pretty far from Yavesh Gilad. Yavesh Gilad is far to the north. One has to wonder why he was specifically threatening that town right after Shaul became king. So perhaps the answer has to do with a story at the end of Sefer Shoftim. The short story is I'm just going to say the end of the story, that the tribe of Binyamin was almost totally wiped out in a tragic story at the end of Sefer Shoftim known as Pilegesh Begiva. Only a few hundred Binyamin men survived, and the rest of the tribe swore that they would never give any of their daughters over to any of these men to marry, which essentially means that the tribe of Binyamin was about to be wiped out. They regretted that oath, and they arranged for something to get slightly around the oath by not giving their daughters to the tribes of Binyamin, to the men of Binyamin, but to have them take the daughters from a certain town called Yavesh Gilad. So Yavesh Gilad therefore essentially saved the tribe of Binyamin. Anyone descended from Binyamin at this point is probably has some relatives that originated from Yavesh Gilad. So now that the first king of Israel from Shevet Binyamin has to be tested, the Ammonites feel, by threatening the people of Yavesh Gilad by saying the following: we're going to wipe you out unless you show us a demonstration of submission and an acceptance of our peace, which is that all men must remove their right eye. Yes, you heard that right. Unless they remove their right eye, if we come and see that any man has his right eye, we're going to come and kill all of you. So the people of Yavesh Gilad appealed to Shaul for help. Now that means that it's one of their own. So Shaul turned to all the tribes of Israel and said that we have to come out in good numbers to protect the people of Yavesh Gilad. Now I want to go back to Sefer Shoftim for a moment. Shoftim tells the story of 13 leaders of Israel, all called judges. They were also military leaders. And the fact is that not one of these 13 actually rallied all the forces of Israel to defeat the enemies. Those enemies were sometimes Moab, it was sometimes Ammon, the Philistines, Cushan Rishatayim, the Canaanites, Midian. These were all enemies of ours that we could never muster all of the tribes of Israel to fight against them. Imagine someone from Beersheba saying, oh, I don't have to send anyone to the army. Those rockets are sent by Hezbollah and they don't reach down here. Or someone from Haifa saying, no, we don't have to send anyone to the army from here. Those missiles from Hamas are not reaching all the way up here. Chas v'shalom, we're one nation. And yet, tribe after tribe, judge after judge, shofet after shofet, never rallies all the forces of Israel. And it reached its apex of disunity in that story I just mentioned of Yavesh Pilegesh Begiva, where I won't get into the whole story, it would take up too much time, but at the end of the story, a woman was cut up into 12 pieces and sent it to each tribe of Israel to show what a terrible trespass was committed. That's such an awful story, which led to the war which almost wiped out Binyamin. In this story, Shaul called for all the tribes to join in protecting the people of Yavesh Gilad, and they behaved just like they did in Sefer Shoftim. No one wanted to show up. So Shaul took an ox, cut it into 12, and sent a piece to each of the tribes of Israel and says, this is what I'm going to do to all of your oxen if you don't come in great numbers to help the people of Yavesh Gilad against the Ammonites. And there you have it. Over 300,000 Jews showed up and routed the Ammonites and saved the people of Yavesh Gilad from their right eyes. Because this is what Shaul did that no one before him did. He united all the tribes of Israel. And that's what you find in chapter 11, dealing with the threat from Nachash, and he saved the people and their right eyes from Yavesh Gilad.